Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by thelines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast, Josh Lander, joined as always by Nate Weitzer on the East Coast. And we are back from a relatively boring All-Star break, but we are happy to be back with you guys for some Thursday night action in the NBA here. We've got 8 games to choose from. In this one, we're taking a look at the Dubs and the new look Lakers, trying to make a run for that postseason at this point. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Also got another couple of videos up for you, including those player props that we are staying hot with you guys on. Also want you to head to thelines.com. You can check out all of our great written content up there all season long and use that odds finder tool that we have for you guys. Make sure you're shopping those lines across those U.S. sports books this NBA season. Nate, let's go ahead and get into this slate and then talk Dubs and Lake Show.
Yeah, good one to come out of the break. Nuggets +2 at Cavs. Be interesting to see Jokic go up against that great interior defense. Pistons are +7 at Orlando. Celtics, with everyone back, no injury report to mention, -8 at Indy. Pelicans +6 at the Raptors. Still no Zion, though. Grizz +3.5 right now at Philly. We talk about that game, liking the Sixers there. A little banter about the total between me and Josh. Spurs +14 at the Mavs. The Thunder in a pick'em at the Jazz. Blazers +6 at Sacramento. And then the Dubs, after opening at just +3.5, are up to +6 in some spots. +5.5 is the consensus number. Against the new look Lakers, who have 3 games since making this trade and only one with Bron in the new pieces, and they handled the Pelicans, but I'm not that impressed with that, considering how bad the Pelicans have been without Zion over the last couple weeks. There's still, more when I look at the Lakers, I still see them as performing below expectations in terms of the total, of being a team that doesn't hit threes, that is good defensively, especially on the interior with AD. And that is how they beat the Warriors in Golden State with a really low total 10 days ago, 109-103. I think it's unsustainable that both teams combine to shoot under 30% from 3. But the Lakers offense, I don't necessarily expect to just be firing on all cylinders and score 130 with all these new pieces, with LeBron playing his second game with these new pieces. They had a poor assist to turnover ratio without Bron in that one. And on the other side, the Warriors, without Steph, of course, and without Wiggins as well, their offense is very dependent on Jordan Poole and Clay. And Poole was inefficient in that last one. He got 29 on 25 shots. He's really struggled in his career, basically, against the Lakers, and this is even the new look Lakers, like the last 2 seasons, 17.5 points with a 105 offensive rating. So I don't think he can carry this Warriors offense, certainly not the way Steph would. The Warriors tend not to play great defense on the road, for sure. So I think that's why we both lean Lakers. 6 points is a little bit for me. I'm not that confident. What I said to you is, if this is an over game at 239, I don't think the Lakers are covering 6 points. I don't think they can run away and attract me, even on extra rest, which is obviously huge for LeBron, who barely was able to play before the break. Now dealing with a banged up wrist as well. So if you want to check that as a box in the under category, don't hate that. The Lakers have been steadily going under when they're in this favorite spot. They're 11-5 to be under at home since the middle of December, but 4-1 under last 5 as favorites. And it's like, why are they favored? Because AD's in there, because their defense is good. And now these trade pieces have actually really helped their defense on multiple levels. And I don't really see it as an opportunity to just hit the ground running when you throw LeBron in there for his second game with his new teammates. So I lean a little bit towards the under. I don't feel confident about it because Warriors games average about 245 right now. Their only under in their last 7 games was that Lakers matchup, though. I find a hard time feeling super confident about anything about this game because of the 5.5 point spread. I don't think the Lakers are in that spot where you're like, book it like the Nuggets at home or something. Like, they're going to handle business. They're an extremely unreliable team still at this point, despite the fact they're trying to claw their way back here. And the Warriors are the definition of unreliable, except that that they're going to give up points. But if it does get up over 240, I would lean towards the under. It's just that's the trend we've seen with the Lakers. It's just they're not getting into these same type of shootout games.
Yeah, I mean, this is a new team. It's a new day in LA, and the first new day really was that first game back for LeBron after missing a few. After he won the scoring title in OKC, then he took like 3 games off. They got the reserves in there, but they just didn't have LeBron. They were playing with AD, but it wasn't really the same team. I believe in what I saw against the New Orleans Pelicans, who are a really, really bad 3-point shooting team. It should be stated, like, that was a huge reason why this defense looked better against the 3 than it has all season for the Lakers when they played the Pellies recently in that last game before they came back. I mean, they only allowed 48 points in the paint. They won the free throw battle. The pace was closer to about 100 rather than the 104 they've been playing at as well. And I believe in what they've got now on defense, really. And I don't have the balls yet to pick the under in this game either. I just know that Malik Beasley and Jared Vanderbilt being on defense, not to mention Rui Hachimura being on the second unit as a big body that they needed as well. All these things they needed to do, they did super well. I don't know who to give credit to, if LeBron's the GM or Rob Pelinka. That's not really what we're talking about here, but somebody needs to be given some praise here for taking a team that was one of the worst poorly constructed rosters, and giving them, help in the areas exactly where they needed help. You look at where they're bad specifically on defense and which areas of the floor. It was right at the top of the circle, and it was all over the wing, anywhere inside around the mid-range, 17 feet. Everything that requires guys who are like 6'8" and taller and can guard from out there. And that's what they got. Even Malik Beasley at 6'4", 6'5", still a really solid defensive guard on the wing for them. And Jared Vanderbilt is the play right there. Like, that's one of the best wing defenders in the league already, and one of the most versatile defenders. And that's why in their last 4 games, even though they've only had LeBron for one of those 4, in their last 4, they've got like the fourth best defensive rating at about 109, which is obviously way better than the 120 it's been at random times throughout this season. The opponent's points in the paint, easy for me to say, 3rd fewest that they're allowing at this point, which means they're also allowing a lot fewer second chance points. They're getting back on defense. They were roughly the 3rd worst defensive team in getting back on the against the break. They are now 7th in terms of limiting opponents' fast break points in their last 4 games. And this is all attributable to having wing players who play really solid defense, who run back on defense, and who put a focus on it. And so they're going to be able to score. I don't know that they're going to hit more threes than they've been hitting. They're at the 2nd lowest clip all season, making fewer than 11 threes a game, which in this day and age is like none, which is why it's 2nd fewest. D'Angelo Russell should help that. Malik Beasley definitely as well has been like better than 40% for most of the season from 3 for Bees, who's had like an incredible season for him. They should be helping that. They've only made 10.5 a game in their last 4 as well. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there on offense, but they don't need it. They just outscored the Pels 56-48 in that paint with AD. Being back out there, obviously LeBron as well, getting down there as well. So I just feel really, really good about the fact that, they're trending completely upward. This team looks a lot more like the team that went to the finals than it does the team that's just been hemorrhaging wins or losses the last couple seasons. For this Dubs team, like, I just don't trust them. I'm not going to trust them. They don't have Wiggins now, on top of not having Steph. And really, Wiggins not being there has been one of the more unsung, conversations, or at least unspoken conversations. He's played in 37, but he's missed 21 games. And without him, their defensive rating drops by about 5 points per 100, which can be expected, as he's probably their best defensive player at this point overall, at least, one-on-one matchups for sure. They need Gary Payton the second back as well. He's still not in the lineup. So their defense is just rough looking, man. And if you want to take a team total on the Lakers, I'd be fine with that as well. Probably, but it's probably 123.5 or so at this point. Like, it's pretty high. So I don't know if you want to take that or not. I'm not really feeling the need to bet on the total. I just know the Lakers are going to win this game, and I think they're going to be able to look, it was a ripe take at 3.5 if you got it right when it opened. Another friendly reminder to go ahead and be looking at those lines the day before. But even at 5.5 or 6 right now, like, I'm not terrified of it, and I just think the Lakers are a much better team without Steph or Wiggs, especially at home.
Yeah, I mean, you are seeing a lot more money on the money line for the Lakers, which continues to climb as well. And I don't hate just doing that with the Sixers money line and the other video we talk about, and then you get great odds on both.
Really nice.
You say you don't trust the Warriors. I just don't trust the Lakers to be firing on all cylinders again with this new team. And the Warriors just come with so much variance because of their high volume 3-point shooting. And it's just like, a question of how hot is Clay going to get. You know, this new look Lakers team, right after holding the Warriors in check, they go to Portland and give up 50% from three, and they lose the game despite dominating the paint and all the stuff you're talking about.
Yeah.
Because they're still getting in rotation. But when they're at that championship level, you're saying this is starting to resemble that team from 2-3 years ago. They win with defense, like unquestionably. So that's why in my mind, it's sort of a parlay, like Lakers money line and under. Because if we get into a 120s game, I think that's advantage Warriors. Then Poole's just, you know, he's feeling himself. It's free flowing. You got DiVincenzo cutting all over the place, and suddenly Clay's getting open shots. And that's the type of game the Warriors would love to play here at Crypto. And the Lakers would probably prefer, again, to just slow it down, play through AD, who's not very efficient offensively, but does, you know, help take some of the pressure off LeBron, who isn't necessarily fully healthy. So that's just kind of the two ways I see it going. Is like Lakers winning in that style, or maybe the Warriors do cover because it's a freewheeling, high scoring game.
I feel, yeah. I mean, I can see the correlation there between the Lakers wanting to go a little slower. It feels weird to say. They've been playing at 104 pace at times this season. They've been one of the crazier, faster teams. It's been sort of like Darvin Ham just being like, look, just go, just run, because we have LeBron. AD doesn't need to run all the way up the court if he doesn't want to. We've got, you know, other athletic guys as well out there alongside LeBron. That's been the plan. They also just haven't had any defense, and now they do a lot more defense. So I think I would agree with you. I'd lean under for sure either way. But my favorite bet, like I said, is the Lakers will be able to pull this one out. And if you need to get it down a bit and tease it with a game like the 76ers, or just parlay that money line, I'm fully with you on board with that to get some pretty nice juice back there. So that's all the time we have for you in this game video. Make sure to like and subscribe to that page. Follow along with us. Also got our player props up for you guys that we are winning some money at right now. So until we see you next, happy betting.